everyone, today on Remarks with Republicans, I'm joined by Darren Bailey. We dive into what motivates him, his vision for Illinois, and the real stories behind his political journey. This is an episode packed with insight. Let's get into it.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah. Whoa, hey.
Remarks with Republicans is starting right now.
For those who may be newer to Illinois politics, who is Darren Bailey?
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you today. Darren Bailey is a husband, a father, a grandfather, a farmer, a former legislator, and someone who is deeply passionate about getting Illinois turned around, because we all know things aren't working right in Illinois right now.
What experience from your time in Illinois legislative best prepared you to run for governor?
Understanding the entire process. A lot of people get elected and they think that they can, make changes happen very quickly. I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
The Democrats have the super majority, so there's a lot more of them than there are of us. So learning what can be tweaked, what can be changed immediately, and learning how to work with the people that don't think necessarily like us. And I think that's what that time prepared me for.
When did you first feel called to run for governor, and what was the deciding moment?
Well, I first ran as a state representative because our taxes were getting too high.
Yeah.
Then the platform opened up to run for state senator because my state senator stepped down. And then with all the COVID lockdowns and with all the increased spending, when the door opened in 2022 to run for governor, I sued J.B. Pritzker over the lockdowns. I won that lawsuit. I couldn't get anybody else, in the party to help me.
Yeah.
So realizing that we have a bigger footprint, we have a bigger platform, and that I could be a voice for more people, that's pretty well when we decided to do it. And through much prayer and approval from my family, we decided to jump into this.
Many Illinois families feel the pinch of taxes and inflation. What is your plan to make Illinois more affordable?
Well, the state budget is almost twice what it was when I got involved in government. So anytime there's a problem, state government throws money at the problem.
Yeah.
And, your parents don't live like that. When you go to college, when you get, become living on your own, we can't live like that. We have to live within our means. So we've got to look into the budget and start reeling back spending and spend it on what's important.
Property taxes remain one of the biggest concerns for homeowners. What reforms would you prioritize?
So a lot of our property taxes go to support public education. So we need a lot of reform there. So we do have a plan that I'll be rolling out soon. The problem with property taxes is that within 10 years of paying property taxes in Illinois, you've paid for your home all over again.
Yeah.
So who would want to build and own a home here in Illinois under those conditions? It can be fixed, again, reprioritizing spending and how money goes to our schools, stopping the ability to continue to keep spending like state government has. We can get this under control.
Crime continues to be a top concern. What immediate changes would you like to make to improve safety across the state?
Well, number one, I'd like to make Illinois conducive to more people to want to serve as police officers. Right now, in almost every county, and especially in Chicago, there's a deficit. We need more police officers. These people don't want to serve as police officers because they know that if they arrest somebody, they're going to be put right back on the street very soon. Recently, there was a beautiful young lady in Chicago who was set on fire and burned alive, and the man that did that, he had been arrested 72 times earlier and just was continually let go. So this has got to stop. And even J.B. Pritzker himself, who this is his program, the Safety Act, even he himself admitted that this isn't working out real well. There have been a lot of people who have lost loved ones over the past 5 years because of this Safety Act. It must be completely repealed and changed.
What do you believe the role of the governor should be in supporting law enforcement?
Well, government's number one purpose is to protect the people. So the governor has control kind of the spending. So the governor should be watching some of these dangerous areas and helping, beef up areas of concern when there's problems like downtown Chicago. And instead, J.B. Pritzker chooses to just turn a blind eye and walk away from the problem. So every weekend, every Monday morning when I check the news out, there's 4 or 5, sometimes 10 people who have been killed over the weekend in Chicago and many others shot. So the governor can make a tremendous impact and a difference with that if they so choose.
What is your vision for improving Illinois schools?
Oh, wow. So right now, we have to get back to the basics. We're teaching a lot of woke ideology. Sex education is mandatory in public education. We need to be getting back to focusing on math, reading, and writing. And by our school's own admission, our children that go to public school cannot read, write, and do math at grade level. That affects all of life. So that's what's going to be our priority. We'll have a rebuilding of the Illinois State Board of Education and put people in place that truly care about our future and want to teach our children the things that really matter.
How would you support parents' rights in education?
Well, that is tremendous right now. Right now, and it goes beyond that. It goes right now in Illinois, a 12-year-old can make any decision medically that they want. They could make that decision at school, for instance, and without having parental involvement, they can do whatever they want to their bodies. That has to change. I believe that school choice is very important influence in this. Right now, we could be getting federal money from President Trump to aid with school choice, but J.B. Pritzker refuses to sign the papers and to work with him. So competition, just like an election, competition is always good. Parents need to have a choice where they want their children educated, and I believe that money needs to follow where they want educated. That will also make public education better.
Do you support school choice expansion in Illinois? Why or why not?
Well, I'm sorry. I think I kind of answered that on that question. So obviously, yes. Because it will make public education stronger. Private education, homeschooling will not replace public education. It just gives parents a choice for whatever reason to have another place to send their children. So I believe that it will drastically improve education here in Illinois.
You come from a farming background. What are the biggest issues facing rural Illinois today?
Well, high property taxes are hurting us. Energy prices are hurting us. J.B. Pritzker has he wants to shut all coal-fired energy down. We're exporting energy out of this state instead of keeping it here for ourselves. So the cost of that is impossible to deal with. Just more and more taxes. Last week, on December 1st, a paint tax started. So now, when people want to paint, remodel their homes, they're going to pay a paint tax every time they go to the store and buy a container of paint. So more and more taxes are a gas tax. I mean, it's endless. It's hurting all of us, but it especially hurts us in the rural communities because it costs more sometimes to get these products, even electricity there.
How can we make sure rural communities aren't left behind?
Well, we need a spokesperson for them. Yeah. And that's where I believe you've probably, I think sometimes people up north have an accent. They tell me that I have an accent. I was born and raised in southern Illinois. I've lived in rural Illinois all of my life. Yeah. Rural Illinois needs a spokesperson. So that is why I think that I'm probably the best candidate to run for governor to join. And I've got an amazing lieutenant governor candidate in Aaron Del Mar who lives in Chicago. So we can merge the North and the South, and we can serve Illinois' best interest as a team.
Many voters from Springfield disconnected from real people. How would your administration restore trust?
I love that question. Kind of like your podcast you're doing.
Yeah.
That's really why I'm here, from serving as a state rep, then serving as a state senator, then running for governor. My communication ability, I get on Facebook, I get on social media, and I inform and educate people. Here's what the problems are, here are the solutions. So that would be a prime point of my administration to communicate every day to the people of Illinois that, hey, these bills are being looked at, they're being voted on, they're being considered. Call your state rep, call your senator, and express your support. And I think that if the people of Illinois are more educated and the governor does that, I think they'll be supportive in helping turn this disastrous tide that we're on.
What leadership qualities set you apart from your opponents?
So I served for 17 years on our local school board a long time ago. The last 12 of those was I served as board president. We did some amazing things. The fact that serving as a Illinois state representative, I was the only one to stand up and to sue J.B. Pritzker. I tried to get, attorneys that are legislators involved. No one wanted to because they were afraid of the consequences. So being this, like Joshua tells us, being bold and courageous, I'm not afraid. If there's something that needs done, I'll do it. We'll get it done. And I think that anyone that watches Springfield knows that that is a rare quality.
How would you work with a legislator that may not share your views?
Well, I've got 4 years experience of doing that, serving in Springfield already. And, not name calling, not bashing, yet coming alongside and just inviting them into the office, or I go to their office and we sit down and say, hey, we got to work something out. How do we do this? I have the respect, although they may disagree with my policies and my thoughts as a conservative, I have the respect of a lot of Democrats across the state and in Chicago because of the way that I have treated them. So I'll have an open door policy. We will communicate. It's not my way or the highway because that will not work. So I believe sitting in the governor's office, that will, I think we'll get something done because of my past and who I am.
What advice do you have for young people who want to get involved in politics?
Oh gosh, young people are what's missing. Do what you're doing. Get involved. Speak up. Start a Turning Points chapter in your school. Start showing up. Every county has a political committee, whether it's a Republican committee or whether it's a Democrat committee. Start showing up. Contact your state representative or your state senator and say, hey, I'd like to volunteer. Start getting involved. Serve as most people, once you're 16 years old, you can serve as a precinct committee person. Yep. Get involved and talk to some of your local county officials. Talk to some of the school board members. Say, hey, what can I do to help?
How can Illinois better support the next generation, students, young entrepreneurs, and young families?
That's a really good question. By getting our act together financially. Because if we don't, you're going to go out of state to go to college. You're going to then probably stay out of state because there's going to be better jobs. It's going to be cheaper to live out of state. So we must get our act together fiscally, all the way around here in Illinois right now to preserve you a future. That's the answer. That's what has to take place. Otherwise, your generation, you're out of here.
What is one issue you think young voters care about that politicians often overlook?
Well, I think education, honestly, I think education is really a key factor. And it may sound boring to some people, but as your generation gets, as you keep growing in years and knowledge, you really begin to realize quickly that this isn't working out so well. My future doesn't look so great. Most people don't think about that. They're thinking about sports in high school. They're thinking about where they're going to go to college. What does it take to get, what does it take to get their tuition paid for? Because that's all important because it costs so much. But I think if we really focus and hone down on preparing more electricians, plumbers, mechanics, just teaching, again, the basics of accounting, the basics of keeping your checking account in order, that's all kind of went by the wayside and it's not being talked about. And I think that it all has to do with their future. So we've got to get back on track. And I think that's a way to do that.
If elected governor, what are your first 100-day priorities?
Well, education, safety, and then probably the cap of all that, affordability. We have got to start looking seriously at our property taxes, at our taxes in general. literally no one knows. Most elected officials don't even know all the money that gets paid into the state government for the budget. No one really truly knows where that money goes, because it is the governor that kind of controls the spending from time to time when they want to. So doing what's called a forensic audit, zeroing down on the budget so that we know here's where all the money came from, here's where it's going, and then President Trump's DOGE program, Department of Government Efficiency, doing something like that and cutting out the waste so that we can be more efficient. Those will be the priorities.
What's the biggest misconception about you as a candidate?
That I'm a southern rural Illinois farmer. So I sometimes get dismissed because of my accent. People just think that you have to talk a certain way. I have an associate's degree because I've farmed all of my life. Farming's a difficult business. Farmers fix things that are broken. Farmers have to kind of keep the budget going, and I think people really don't understand how the modern age of farming is. They just don't understand it. So I think that is probably the biggest misconception that follows me.
Why should Republican voters and independents choose Darren Bailey to lead Illinois?
Well, because I think that I've proven as a state representative and as state senator that I'm not afraid of anything. If something needs done, I'll have that conversation with anybody. I'm the boldness and the courage is what we need for the days ahead. So I think if someone studies what I stand for, they'll see that, and I think that's a lacking quality in many elected officials today.
Deep dish or thin crust?
Oh, thin crust.
Favorite county fair in Illinois?
Oh gosh, that is man. There's a lot of wonderful county fairs. So I'm going to have to probably say my home Clay County fair, because it's close, and I love 4-H. I love to seeing many times my grandchildren are participating in those events. So, but I love the whole fair process and the way it works.
One Illinois politician you admire, past or present?
One Illinois, oh gosh, how about Abraham Lincoln?
All right.
Because that man, a lot of people forget that he served at this General Assembly in Vandalia, which was the capital at the time. And someone like him is who I just love, because he was honest. He stood up during he had choices to make, and he was bold and courageous. So I'm going to have to go back that far to look at someone and say, we need a return of that.
Coffee or sweet tea?
Coffee.
In one sentence, what does Illinois need most right now?
In one sentence, Illinois needs lower taxes right now. That would be our answers.
Cubs or Cardinals?
Well, that's also a tough one, because where I come from, there's a lot of Cardinal fans, but I've had to kind of reposition myself and realize that, which one of the teams are right here in Illinois? If I'm going to support Illinois to the hilt, it's got to be Cubs, I suppose.
Go-to snack on the campaign trail?
Peanuts.
Peanuts, all right. And the final one, Trump offers to team up to make Chicago safe again. Are you in or are you out?
So I'm in. Labor Day weekend, a lot of people don't realize that there were 13 people murdered, and there were over 30 shootings. Those are lives. This past weekend, there were 4 deaths and 8 people wounded. And every time you see an ambulance going down the road, every time you see, the police, somebody's life's changing. Yeah. And it breaks my heart that J.B. Pritzker and that Brandon Johnson have allowed this for going on, J.B. Pritzker 7 years now. Yeah. It's uncalled for. It's wrong. And I will work with any president, okay? J.B. Pritzker refuses to support President Trump because he has presidential aspirations of his own. But we have got to have someone to stand up for the people of Illinois and protect the people, and that's what this is all about.
Thanks for speaking with me.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor.